my first viewing of this, I was so excited for this movie because I was already a fan of South Park. Like I've said before, I've been watching South Park since the beginning, since 1997, when you could only watch it online, or if it was on TV, I didn't have cable, and so I was only able to watch it online. But I was so excited for the movie, and me and another person went to go to, I think we went to Shreveport, Louisiana to see it. And at the big, was it Tinseltown? I think it was called Tinseltown. It was basically a big movie chain. I don't know if Tinseltown is still out or not.
I don't know, but that's what you're thinking of. Or I've been at that theater before.
Yes. And we had to go to Shreveport from where we live because obviously it was not going to be shown in the small redneck Sugarnut, Quiet Mountain. Basically, the small town of where we live was not going to get it. Obviously. If you know where I lived, yeah, you understand why. Watch the movie Bernie, you'll understand why we didn't get this movie. And so we went there, got our tickets, got carded for our tickets. I guess when you're 21, you look like you're 16 or something. I don't know. I wasn't even 21. 99, I would have been 18. Yeah, I would have been 20 or 21. And anyway, I digress. And they were checking IDs there, and there was cops checking IDs to go actually in the actual auditorium.
Wow.
Yeah, they were serious about making sure that minors were not going to get into this movie.
That's crazy.
And a big thing about this is the reason I believe that they were doing that is because they had gotten reports throughout the country of so many people, underage kids, buying tickets to Wild Wild West and sneaking in to go see South Park instead.
Yep, and that happened a lot.
A lot.
You know, that was was a very big deal. I actually had some friends in high school that did that exact thing.
Yeah, because Wild Wild West opened up about the same time as this, and it was PG-13. So they the age difference between 13 and 17 that got a lot more people to be able to sneak in. But anyway, I digress again. I watched it in a theater full. It was like, I want to say it was opening weekend. It wasn't opening night. It was opening weekend, I believe. And it was a room full of college-age kids. It was the funnest experience that I've ever had at a movie. Everybody was all into it. Everybody was, laughing at all the jokes. It was just a perfect experience, especially when the point when Cartman is about to sing Kyle's Mom's a Bitch. And they go, well, don't do it, Cartman. Well,
don't you even think about it.
And he turned around and walked off. Every single person in the theater literally went, because he had sang that song on the show already. So we knew that opening, we knew it was coming. And then we popped back on screen, everybody started cheering and yelling and applauding and singing along to it. It was just the funnest experience ever at the movies that I've ever had.
I did not get the pleasure to see this in the theater. Although at the time this movie came out, I really hadn't seen South Park yet. I didn't really see it for the first time until actually after I graduated high school, probably.
The show?
The show
itself.
Because you introduced me to South Park, pretty much.
With those
yeah,
collections, those out-of-print collections now.
And I didn't, even if I had, I wouldn't have been able to. Mom and Dad wouldn't have taken me to see this. And somebody was living 1,200 miles away, or whatever it was.
Yeah, an hour away. An hour.
You live in in Texas at the time.
Oh, that's right. You were in Missouri.
We were in Missouri.
I forgot. You were in Missouri. My bad. It's like I lived an hour from you. What are you talking about?
Maybe if I had a Ferrari or something, you lived an hour away.
Yeah.
But so like I said, I didn't get introduced to it until way later. He introduced me to South Park, and then I eventually got a chance to see the movie, and I was hooked on South Park after that. Though I always had a lot of trouble keeping up with watching it because, you know, I spent a while where I didn't have cable, you know, but I was hooked on it after that, and I love this, you know. I mean, I've been down here for 3 years. We probably watched this movie 20 times, 30 times in that short amount of time.
We actually made the comment when we started to watch this. We watched this probably what it was like 8 hours ago or something like that.
Yeah.
But we don't even need to watch this movie again to do this review.
Yeah.
We don't.
We could have just turned the camera on and got it.
We have it memorized. I mean, practically have this movie memorized.
Although there were a couple of things that we saw this time through or found out that we didn't know before. That was kind of neat to find out. What was the one that I had said?
I don't know.
Whose voice was that he did?
Oh, Brett Spiner.
Yeah. Who was...
Brett Spiner did the voice of Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, Brett Spiner did the voice of Conan O'Brien in this movie, and I did not know that. I just thought that was awesome. I'm like, but apparently Conan actually wanted to do it, but he just couldn't get the time.
Yeah,
they had actually
scheduling conflict.
Yeah, they had actually asked him if he would come on and voice himself, but he had a scheduling conflict at the time because wasn't that during his short tenure at the Tonight Show?
I don't know. That was way after. That was after. That was after.
Anyway.
Break off 1 second. Another reason why people today will not understand some of what's going on in this, just like little references in it. George Clooney plays the doctor who works on Kenny after he dies, and that's obviously a reference to ER. And over Satan and Saddam's bed in hell is a picture of Skeet Ulrich.
Yep.
People today are not going to know who Skeet Ulrich is.
No.
At all. But anyway.
Oh, and I love that George Clooney played the doctor. That was such a hilarious scene.
Yeah. Especially since...
We just saw that episode.
Yeah, this episode came on today, which is good. It makes a lot of references to other pop culture things in here.
Like Saddam Hussein.
Well, obviously Saddam Hussein, who's a huge character in this. It actually makes references to the musical Oklahoma. What was that? Les Mis?
Les Mis, yeah. And those were with the musical numbers. By the way, this is a musical.
Oh yeah, this is a straight up musical.
Yeah.
The first words said in this movie is a song. So.
Yeah, the Oklahoma one you may not catch quite as much, but the Les Mis one if you know that musical at all, which I do, I love that musical. It's one of my favorites. You'll definitely catch that reference. It's pretty right there in your face.
Blatant.
You know, some fantastic songs in this.
Oh yeah, the music was just incredible. This is
and we were sitting here watching this, just singing along with every song.
Yeah.
You know, they're those ones that if you've seen this a couple of times, you know the songs.
It's catchy. They're very, very catchy.
Very.
And the soundtrack, like the actual soundtrack, has all the music from the movie, and then it has all the songs again, done by other artists.
Really? That's cool. I've never heard the soundtrack to this.
For instance, the music video that's in the special features What Would Brian Boitano Do?
What Would Brian Boitano Do?
It's done by DVDA.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's Mom's a Bitch is done by Joe C. with Kid Rock.
Well, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So this, you don't not only do you get the songs from the movie, you actually get covers of the songs from the movie.
Because obviously the songs that are in the movie, they're all sung by Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Exactly.
Mostly Matt Stone. He seems to be the singer of the group.
And
I mean, Trey Parker is the main singer of the group.
and James Hetfield.
Yeah,
James Hetfield
is in this movie.
Is in this movie
Well, his voice is.
as a singer. But going along with the music,
Singing a song called Hell Isn't Good, by the way.
yeah,
That's the actual title of that song. Hell Isn't Good.
yeah. And there's actually some good life lessons in this movie.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly, yes, there is. But what I wanted to say about the music before we move on, the song Blame Canada actually got nominated for an Oscar.
It didn't win, did it? Right?
No. It lost out to You'll Be in My Heart from Tarzan by Phil Collins. Thus, why...
That makes sense now. Oh my god, that makes sense now.
That's why in Timmy 2000, the episode Timmy 2000, they rip Phil Collins a new asshole in that movie.
And I've never gotten that. I've never understood. I figured that I didn't know that was the reason.
Mm-hmm. That's why he has his little Oscar statue, the whole thing, and they rip him apart.
And I just never got that. I did not know that happened. I always just figured that it's South Park. They like to rip on people, so
And they don't care.
I figured Matt Stone was, maybe he had just heard In the Air Tonight one too many times, so he's like, no, we're gonna do Phil Collins this week. And Trey Parker was like, okay. I figured that's how probably most of their business meetings go.
Who can we rip on this week?
Yeah.
F.
But I did not know that, and wow, that makes so much sense, and it's great. That's great. Thank you for that. I really didn't know that.